clean restrooms, what do they have to do with the conference, the WEC conference? Well, Meredith, you provided some really good insight, starting with clean restrooms. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the highlights, and we'll have a conversation.
I love that you picked up the clean restrooms, but if you are in Texas, you have to talk about Buc-ee's. And what we're really talking about with this conference was the fact that if you want to differentiate yourself in this economy, you've got to do it first by beginning to listen to the voice of the customer. And as anybody knows, the famous gas stations, Buc-ee's, they're known for clean restrooms. And the way that company was founded was by listening to what people really want and building a business off of it. And that's so important in this economy.
And it gave that customer experience, right? That was the differentiator, I guess.
Yes, it's absolutely the differentiator. What I love about the story and what I love about Buc-ee's is that when you think about building a business, there are so many places you can put your resources. But they really said, what do people most want? What's most important to them? And if you do that in your business, just like Buc-ee's, it'll grow.
Now, the question is, it seems like they've continued to listen because they've expanded their business, right?
They have. They've expanded. The second most important is people wanted selection. They wanted good coffee. They wanted a store where they could grab a sandwich or do this. And Buc-ee's has become the number one store in the nation, number one gas station in the nation. And right now, they're only in Texas. They're starting to expand. But I just think that's phenomenal. It tells you how vital the customer experience is. And I love that because we control the customer experience.
It also has to do with listening too, right? How do you create that channel of interaction and then react to it?
Yeah, the crazy thing is we need to ask people questions and we need to really listen, not wait to speak. I was just working with a client earlier today who was telling me he'd been on the phone with his banker and he never got a word in edgewise. And you really, you have to listen to people, one, because it's how we tell customers we care, but on top of that, they'll tell us exactly what they want, how they want to be sold, what they need, what's important to them, if we'll just be quiet.
And so when you've got the listening part, but there's also the communication part, communicating what you have, how do you do that in effective ways with so much clutter in the world?
There is. But if you have that relationship with people first, if you want people to hear you and the value that you bring to the table, you start by listening to them. Who do customers care about? Themselves, right? So if we listen to them first, take action on something that they want, then they're more willing to hear what's important to us and what matters. And what we were talking about in the conference is, how do you stop losing? How do you get out of the price war? You get out of the price war by communicating your value, what you do for the customer beyond just the product or service you sell.
Yeah, one of the things, the panel you just moderated, one of the things that I found interesting was Chantel and what they're doing with their group training, train empathy, I guess.
Yes, it is so important. People really want to be heard and they want to be listened to. And it sounds crazy that we've got to train that, but we do. And it's interesting, I was working on trends for 2018, what's really trending. And one of the things that's trending in business is human connection. Who'd have thought that would have had to be a trend? But it just tells you how important it is that we really have those skills, those soft skills that allow us to build relationship, and listening is a big piece of it.
So, we're seeing a lot of automation in marketing. I got a video from my service provider, and it's kind of creepy because it was so personalized. So at what level, do you distinguish between the human and the machine there?
I think that what I have found and what I'm learning is that from a machine standpoint, people want to be able to help themselves. We want to go into the grocery store and check ourselves out. Nothing more annoying than getting online and I have to call to talk to somebody. Yeah. But what the research shows is that when people have a problem or they want more detailed information, they want to have the choice to get to a person and to get to somebody easily. And I think that's something businesses need to look at. How easy are we to do business with? If we're setting up roadblocks, people will move on. And so you got to strike that balance. And what it means is that people have to have more critical thinking skills, because when you talk to customers, it's for something deeper than just a touch point.
That makes sense. So people are more important than ever.
People are more important than ever, more valuable. Investing in the relationship building skills, that's what's going to differentiate you.
Excellent. Meredith, thank you.
Thank you.